All right, so welcome back to Saturday Report. Still Carl Higbie. If you watch this show, you obviously know I'm super proud of my military service, and that's why veterans issues are so important to me, and that's why we cover them here, a new issue each week facing veterans. Nationally, there are over 37,000 veterans who experienced homelessness in 2020. Now, according to the National Allegiance to End Homelessness, there is a California-based nonprofit, Open Doors to Future Possibilities, helping homeless veterans transition from homeless to a more stable living condition and assisting making a smooth transition back into civilian life through their programs. Now, they launched their veterans programs nearly 2 years ago and have served more than 1,500 since their inception. Families and their community have also been served by this. Now, joining us now to discuss is Dr. Simone Lundquist, the founder and executive director of Open Doors to Future Possibilities. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. Hi, Carl. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Now, this is super important. It's a shocking statistic that as many people and the high-functioning members of our military, they get out after being told what to do, how to do it, where to be, when to be there, all these things. And a lot of them, unfortunately, have some issues adjusting back to the thing, and they end up, some of them, unfortunately, end up homeless. Now, you help veterans using this holistic approach. Tell us a little bit about how your program works, how you find people, how you get them helped out and fixed up and off to the races.
Wonderful. So as you talked about it wonderfully, what's happening is that when people want to join any branch in our U.S. military, what happens is that they go through about 6 to 13 weeks of intensive military training. However, when they come back, there is no process and there's no time for them to be able to transition smoothly back into civilian life. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's not a switch that they can flip and then suddenly turn back into a high-functioning civilian. Mm-hmm. The way we work with them, we're trying to be that transition for them. We are that place for them where they can feel safe, they can talk about whatever has happened, be able to change perspective and give new meanings to whatever they have witnessed. They one of the biggest things that they suffer from is loss of their friends right. in combat, and they usually tell me that the scene keeps getting repeated in their mind. And they're trying to figure out maybe they could have done something to change the ending. Mm-hmm. And then after a while, they give up and they basically right. tell themselves that it's going to go away.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. You lose the support network. You lose that close camaraderie. Oftentimes when you get out, you might go to a job where you don't have the same thing. And one of the things, though, is when you're in the military, and I experienced this myself when I got out, is, a lot of times you're given they're taking care of most of the stuff that you need, depending on what your rank is. If you're a junior guy, you oftentimes live on base. Some guys get out never having lived off base before, and they have to figure that whole thing out. They have to learn, how to pay bills and do all these things, and some of them just aren't ready. In your program, you've transitioned. You've helped a ton of folks recently transition. You're also seeing an influx of military service members return home from overseas right now with the end of Afghanistan. We ended Iraq a little while ago. Tell us about what you're seeing right now, especially coming out of Afghanistan.
It's kind of sad what the veterans are talking about. Well, I'm not sure if you know the suicide rate. Since 2001, September 11, we have lost 114,000 veterans to suicide, while we have about, I believe, 8,855 active duty service members killed in action. So based on VA's report in 2020, the suicide rate among veterans is 17 per day. Right. Which makes it about more than actually 6,000 a year. I was reading an article a few days ago in military.com, and it was Inspector General, Department of Defense, that was talking about how we're not, most of the troops coming back from battlefront are not being screened for suicide risk, while
PTSD too. I mean, that's a big thing, and that plays into the readjustment too. I don't mean to cut you off, but I do want to make sure that we get to this.
No, please, yes, definitely.
Yeah, no, so how do people get involved in your program? If you know somebody, if you know a veteran who's homeless that maybe you've tried to help that haven't been successful, how do people get in touch with you? How do they write to your program, call your program, help a veteran? How can they donate and support your program?
Very good. So we do all of the above. And mostly when we go to transitional housings where we collaborate with Home First and Second Harvest Food Bank in order to place.
But how do people get in touch with you?
So we go there, we talk with them, we distribute food, groceries, clothing, socks, shoes, everything. And then we get to talk with them. And that's when we tell them about our services, and some of them reach out.
Right.
The other ways is just they write to us. They get to know about our organization, word of mouth. They're friends, family members, and that's how they come to us.
Right. We actually have it on the screen down there. Can we put that back up? Open Doors to futurepossibilities.org.
Yes.
Doctor, I love what you're doing, and we appreciate it. And God knows, especially before the holidays, it is a huge treat to know that you're going to help some folks, find a home and get back on their feet. Dr. Lundquist, we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you very much, Carl, for having us.
Our pleasure.